August 12, 2025, Munhall Workshop meeting is now in session. Call to order. Pledge allegiance. Mr. Brennan in the back, would you lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mr. Shields.
Here.
Mr. Eads.
Present.
Mr. Youngkins.
Here.
Mr. Brennan.
Here.
Mr. Firestone. Here. Mr. Goodin.
Here.
Chief Coles.
Here.
Assistant Chief Caterino.
Here.
Mr. Bicey. Here. Mr.
When
Cannon.
did you sneak in, Jay?
We have a quorum.
Okay. Public comments. I'll take public comments on non-agenda items right now.
My name is Susie Collins on West Run Road. It's a comment / question for the police. So West Run, people, drive it like it's a racetrack. There's one car in particular, it's a black Mustang that you'll hear like zoom by super fast, but in the middle of the night, on our camera, we can see that they come down Mooney and they do like, almost like a donut, like a big
They come down where?
Mooney onto West Run, like heading away from Tioga,
Okay.
down towards Union. And literally, it is a burnout, like donut that they'll do in the middle of the night. But I can't get it down, there's no consistency with it. Sometimes it's 12 o'clock, sometimes it's 2 o'clock, sometimes it's 7 p.m., it's all different times. So I can't call the police, they're already way down the road at that
Right.
point. So my question is there any way that there could be, all are busy, but is there any way to have any type of police monitoring in that part of West Run?
I'll send an email out after this meeting at nighttime and have somebody up there.
Perfect, thank you.
The same car comes up Union, by the way.
Oh, the black?
Yes, the black
Okay.
Mustang comes up Union.
And you
I've
hear
seen
the
them,
same
yes.
thing? Yeah, I'm
Very
trying to
loud.
find where they live, but we've captured the same car on there, and it's a skinny white guy, and he has like silver rims on the back that don't look like they fit.
He
the
comes
car.
up Union very fast and goes straight up over the hill, so maybe he lives up that way.
I think he lives up in like Calvin Village,
Oh, does he?
because I've seen him go past my house before.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're
Okay. Anybody else?
Brad Petriga, 1332 Margaret Street. Act 152 blight funds came out, I believe, yesterday, and I just wanted to see what the status was for Munhall regarding those funds.
Yes, we applied for that. We were too late to apply with the COGS, so we applied separately the day of. And we just, they prefer giving the money to COGS as opposed to individual municipalities. So we didn't get a chance to get the money this year.
Okay.
It was my second week, so.
Okay. Did they?
Oh, it's that far back.
Yeah. Did they reject that application, or? It
I
was...
talked to Dan Salt as our grant writer, and they didn't reject it, but they didn't approve it.
Okay. Okay.
So the next year, we'll definitely be on top.
Okay. Thank you.
Where we missed last year? Any more comments on non-agenda items? Any comments on agenda items? You coming up? Come on.
No,
Go ahead. No, you were up. Go ahead.
Just your, on salt bins, oh, sorry, my cap, for your gates. Instead of trying to move the salt bin, why not just move the charging station?
It's been talked about.
Okay,
Actually, he and I talked about the other day, it'd be $100,000 to move the electrical lines somewhere else. But it might be our best option, to move it somewhere, exactly, we talked about it.
okay. Because I was thinking with,
Yeah.
you've got the fire department and the engineering people involved as well.
Actually, it all comes down to Duquesne Light
We
wants
have-
wants us to do this,
We
right?
have to move the salt bin no matter what,
Why?
because Duquesne Light Power comes up over the hill, and we don't have their permission to have our salt bin that high, or that close to their power lines. So we have to move,
We have to move them?
no matter what, salt bin has to be moved.
How come they never come to us and told us that?
I was gonna ask that, why didn't they do
I've never gotten an official letter or response. from
Nothing from
them.
them.
We.
I've heard it, but that's.
Bob and I met with
15
him,
years.
met with him,
How come the manager wasn't meeting with them?
that, I think, Dave, we don't know, David met with,
Apparently not.
No.
that was like 8 months ago, maybe 10 months ago.
How long has the salt bin been in there, and how long have the lines been
I,
there?
A long time.
Ever.
Excuse me, Mr. Bicey, do you have any input on this?
When we put the salt bin up, originally it didn't have a roof over it. And
we were told not to put a roof over it. Nobody told me not to put a roof over it. So when we put a roof over it, we didn't realize the Duquesne Light had 3 transformers within, 10 feet of it. And they can't access these transformers with their salt. That's what we have to do.
Okay.
And we have to, I think by DEP, you have to cover the salt bins. Used to be they didn't have to be covered,
Yes.
so they have to be covered.
Does a tarp suffice a cover?
We don't.
Okay.
That's what I was going to wonder, if we go back to something else that's not as tall.
Dave, you may not have been here. I think Seth was still here when we met with them. Was Seth still here when we met with them?
Yes, yes.
That was, yeah, because that was Kasami.
Right, Seth was here.
So Seth was still here when we met with them.
Yeah, I remember that now, he was here.
Can we lower the roof to meet their specifications? Or what are their specifications?
They don't want nothing near those lines whatsoever.
That's the
They don't care about the
specification.
charger. Well, the charger would be.
They need access to 2 trucks, 2 bucket trucks. And we have to move.
So we've been playing on bar, if something had to happen, they had to get back there, a lot of things would have been,
So,
Yes.
typical Munhall thing, we kick it down the road.
what do you mean?
We should have done it a while ago, we kept kicking it down the road.
Not us. I just found out this last year.
I'm talking about previous. How long has it, they've been supposed to be moving this, Bob?
2-3 years.
Was it before that, when they bitched about it before?
About 2 or 3 years ago is when it started, when
They just happened to show up and see it.
they put new,
My
Oh,
misunderstanding,
gotcha.
I thought
they
it was
put
10 or
new
15 years.
poles in for the ball fields and everything. And it came up from West Run Road. I mean, it originally came up there, but they added more transformers to supply the power for the field.
Okay. So we have to move it. You recommend we move it? Okay.
So do they.
No to that. Mr. Ham, come on up.
Just a little clarification. So when we voted on the electric vehicles, okay, we knew that the cost of the replacement of the diesels were between $1 million and $1.2 million. Okay, so the electric vehicles were 1.5, for which we had to pay 10% or 150K plus any charges on top of the charging station. So if you just look at it from that standpoint, you're at least 700K
Right.
in front, okay? So make the right decision, obviously, and bring Duquesne Light in and get an efficient thing. I know it's not the easiest thing to do.
As far as what? Bring Duquesne Light in and do what?
You know, show them your plans, have the engineer, or whatever engineering firm you plans to do it, put the plans on the table, invite them here, get the okay.
Well,
Get it
Duquesne
in
Light
writing.
just wants the salt bin out of there.
What's that?
Duquesne Light just wants the salt bin out of there.
Right, so you still have to give them plans right there where you're gonna put it to make sure that they don't just say, no, that's not what we meant. So to cover yourself, I would do that. You're gonna have plans done already, so.
We met with their engineer came out, Bob, Seth,
Okay.
me, Dan Gustavo Electric, we met back there.
Did they put it in writing for you, Tim?
Bob, do you have that in writing? Do we have, I could ask Gustavo.
As far as I know, we have nothing in writing from
Put it in writing.
Nothing.
I mean, you're gonna have architectural plans,
Right.
where you're gonna put it. Okay, whoever's doing that work for you, and you know where you're gonna put the charges in. Get it all in writing, submit the plan to them, get their approvals, and then there's no.
In other
way-
words, we move the salt bin, get ready to, oh, this wasn't gonna work. So tell us, well,
Exactly,
okay, I got you.
exactly. You don't wanna pay for it twice.
Got you.
But they're still gonna want us to move salt. Salt bin.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, so that's what I said, just put it in context. Reality we would have spent between $1 million and $1.2 million on 3
Garbage trucks.
garbage trucks. So now you're paying, they were 1.5, we paid 10%, plus we knew that we had all the charges associated with the charging stations and so on. And we knew we had to pay for the hookup and the placement of the stages, and any asphalt and everything else. So, I mean, the reality was, we could have spent $1.2 million, or we could have spent anywhere, I would say, between $250,000 to $300,000 to $400,000. You're still ahead. At the same time, we also went to the, you know, first vehicle that maintained them, and it, you know, and it was told that they could maintain the vehicles. Okay? If that has changed, right there, then, you know, you should probably get it in writing for the first vehicle.
We'll do that. Thanks. Any more public comments? How you doing?
Jim Dudash, 1026
Hi,
Creek
Jim.
Street. My man's gone.
He'll be back.
So I don't know exactly what the discussion is going to be, so I thought it's better for me to get up and ask now. You have a meeting scheduled, we understand, for the 20th? Okay.
Your informant's correct.
And that, with the DEP, and is that open for public consumption at all?
No,
Okay,
it's
that'll
just
just be you guys going?
Just a municipality meeting with the DEP.
Okay. Will the plans be presented to them that you had drawn up and that you were going to use?
I'll have them ready. I mean, right now, I'm not exactly sure what they'll want to see. As from according to the letter we received from DEP, they basically instructed the municipality to remove the walls, or shore up the walls, or do something with the walls and make it like it was from 40 or 50 years ago. That is the more expensive option. So our plans might not be what they're looking for, but maybe hopefully it'll be enough. But I'll have the actual.
The plans
The
that
plans
were
that
shown
we-
before,
yeah,
when
but
the engineers came up
yeah,
and
we'll have those
the
with
people
me
with the
to show
bidding and
them.
that, they showed us those. So you'll have those available for them, so they could look at them and say, that doesn't meet specs or something
Yeah,
along that
yeah.
line. Do you know if that was approved, will those bids still hold, the bid that they
I
have?
think
will
we
they have
should,
to
at
be-
this point in time, since it's $100,000 more, we should rebid it and see if we can get a better price.
Okay. All right, and I guess the other thing that's, to me, is the back burner issue, but as far as the road, was there any movement on any of that, or that's kind of been just pushed aside at this point with it?
Yeah, nothing to discuss about the road at this point.
All right,
That's a good point. If we go before the DEP,
yes.
we have to have everything prepared to go to that meeting. Because you know what will happen? It'll get pushed down the road again for another meeting. And we won't be prepared, and just, what happens? It's 2 or 3 more months later.
Matt will be at the meeting.
Okay,
So it'll be fine.
all right.
And that's the big part of it, is,
Right.
like you say, they turn slow, and they let us know that.
Actually, yeah, it is a,
But
yeah.
there's a really good season to be able to do this kind of work, we all know.
We're missing it.
Well, it could be, like this take
It's
2
getting
weeks.
close.
Yeah, that was ideal, these 2 weeks.
Right.
But if you went any earlier this year, you'd have been
Right.
in big trouble, because that creek was up almost over the banks
Right.
10 times.
Right.
We have videos of it, what it's doing.
That was probably
So,
trickle.
yeah, and you get in towards the fall, and it's like, things usually dry up quite a bit, and you have a more of an opportunity, you have opportunities then. And that's why I say, I don't like the thought of 3 months, 5 months, now it's winter, now the frost's in the ground, now you're dealing with frost in and out, so I just wanna know, where things are at.
We're not gonna let you people hang, I'm gonna tell you that.
And we'll be notified in some way, do you know who notifies the residents up there as far as after the meeting? Will you guys let us know, will the DEP?
Well, we'll figure out, you'll be notified in one way or another.
Okay.
We'll figure out, I'm not sure exactly what the process is.
You can notify me, Dave, and I'll let
They will
them
do
know.
it. They will do it.
I thought, I'll be talking to them tomorrow, so I'll know.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome. Mr. Hannah, what's up?
So, I just clarification in reference to, the issues with Homestead Road. So, the issue on ownership of the road, it's clearly the county GIS maps show that the road is on the owner's parcels themselves, and that the actual landslide itself knocked down what was remaining of the wall, for which that's what the state said it needs repaired. Has the state said anything in reference to all of Homestead Road?
Yes.
And so can you elaborate on it? So to me, this
Basically,
is the tip of the iceberg.
We have to do what we're doing at Creek Street along the entire
We can't do it.
street.
Oh, I just understand.
That's what they're basically recommending.
They want us to police all the walls going all the way down, whether, we have no proof who owns them, who doesn't, which is unacceptable.
Well, this is where the solicitor comes in.
Right.
Okay, so, usually what happens, there's part of precedence. in reference to who put up the wall itself, for which the walls were put up many years ago, and the individuals who did, probably most of them
We're
are
gone.
deceased.
Right.
But I guess the real question is going to be really what the long-term piece is, and from the standpoint, the funding behind it. I mean, just that one piece, the initial bids were $500,000. Ravine Street is about a mile long, and Homestead Creek goes back and forth, so it's easily a mile, probably closer to 1.2 or 1.3 miles worth of that creek itself. And the reality is, this borough obviously can't fund all of that. So so from a long-term view, are you going to come back out and say, here is our strategy behind it? I mean, it obviously you can't fix years and years of decay of these walls in 2 minutes. Okay?
Well, you know, go back 25 years ago, when they had the consent decree to come down unfunded by the federal government, they told us, I used to go to meetings in Green Tree, that once the stormwater runoff was taken care of, that the water intake into the creek was going to increase. And there was going to be problems.
Sure.
And much more water, used to be more water went under Ravine Street Creek than went above it. Now, it's, it's up there, and it meanders where it has to go.
Right.
If something falls in, it changes direction, so we're kind of stuck with it, but we're gonna let them know, we don't have the ability to take care of that whole creek.
No, not easy.
Not even close.
To give you some ideas of what I'm thinking, I haven't talked to council about this yet, is a woman by the name of Annie Quinn has done a lot of work on watersheds in the region. It's across many municipalities. What might be the best thing to do is to create what we call a watershed, a homestead watershed, which would then put the onus on everybody, the county, all the municipalities that are contributing to the problem, and then tackling it as a unified group. That is probably the best way to deal with the problem, because that's a $10 to $20 million problem.
And you said, is Ann Quinn, is she a professional engineer, or what's her background?
I just found out about her today, but she's organized watersheds.
Okay, and you mentioned this bringing everyone in because of the fact upstream versus downstream. You're the downstream person.
Basically.
So what did you say that plan was, or that what you just said?
Homestead watershed is what it is. It's basically creating some sort of a quasi-governmental organization called Homestead Watershed.
Like an authority.
Something, I don't know exactly what it is.
Would be a separate entity?
Something like that.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. But I just found out about it today as a possibility, so obviously, but we need to think of something broader because.
And being that the sewer authority is not stormwater. It's
Not yet.
responsibility. What's that?
Yeah.
Not yet.
Obviously, they
Yeah,
know this. So, all right.
okay?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to what it is, because it's a complex problem, not an easy one.
Thanks, Bill.
Thanks.
Any more?
Yeah, just 2 points on the, this would be for LERTA and then also the real estate tax forgiveness ordinance. I have to say, I was at the planning commission meeting this past week and was very surprised that the solicitor and planning commission were under the impression that LERTA couldn't work for residential properties. After I've sent a couple different resources and other examples of ordinances in places where residential uses were being done, I thought at least there would be some background research or some background review on that, and there wasn't any. So one, I guess I'm concerned for the direction of that and trying to establish, yes, this is for new construction of residential properties. But then two, just wondering how connected we are with the solicitor on a regular basis. I know he cited a memo that he sent to you guys in 2024, but we've had many conversations since then about this as well.
With the solicitor?
Yes, yeah, and I don't know if that's because he's not here for the workshop meetings. I mean, maybe that's something that needs to be looked at.
Next year, we're gonna look at that.
Having the solicitor here
Yes,
for
every
the
meeting.
workshop. I think that'd be really helpful because
Right now, we couldn't change it, he already has commitments for this week.
Yeah.
But next week, I'll try to work that, next year, I would like to try to work that in.
that would be great.
I think
that
so,
would,
too.
I think that would help situations like this.
Could I comment on that?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because I remember meetings, and the solicitor did say that it was for business purposes only, and then it kept evolving. You guys kept saying, oh, we want, and alert is great for that purpose, but from what I was always under the impression, it's not set up for residential investment or improvements. It's set up for more business. But the homestead plan that they use for tax forgiveness is more inclined for residential. So that's where the difference lies.
Yeah, I understand.
Brad, do you remember what he said? That other program was that deals with the residential?
He mentioned a few, but I think even with the ones that he mentioned, it's not what other municipalities and what other entities are using across the state.
Well, cities can do a lot more than a borough. So cities have a whole different way of handling blighted property. They can do a lot more than what per se a borough can, or even a township. And even townships may be able to do more than what a borough can do. So there's all different tax laws in Pennsylvania which go back antiquated to certain times, and they should be changed to cover all of them, but they're not done that way. So
Yeah, I'm open to that line of thinking. I mean, I think we have to be careful here because it is nuanced. The LRTA ordinance itself is written towards businesses. However, there are municipalities across the state that have used other laws in conjunction with LRTA to address residential properties. So on one hand, he could be very right in terms of it's only written for business. But what I'm suggesting is that we need to be a little bit more creative.
What, Rich?
No, stop it, I was talking to somebody else.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Brian.
Scared?
Yeah, I said.
But that's, I guess, what I'm seeing is when I look at, so Erie City has been the one I've been citing, which would, that I'd be open to that as well. Maybe it's just because Erie is a city and it has some nuance there. But I've also seen other municipalities outside of that have used it for.
well, Clairton had their own program where they were charging $500 to sell properties to people, and they were selling them outright to people. And then the state came down and said, you're not allowed to do that. So, I don't know.
The problem is, I agree with you, solicitor should be here for workshops. This is when you have open discussions.
Right.
Where the regular meeting is more of a voting meeting, but we're gonna, it would be, I think it's more important for him to be here for this one than most of the others.
Yes, and that's the downside too, is when legalities like this come up, I'm not a lawyer,
Right.
I don't think any of you are lawyers, so when things come up, we could talk all night and we're not gonna get an answer. My other concern too is that I don't know how much our solicitor is collaborating with other solicitors that have done this in municipalities, so that.
I will give him a call, or Dave will, we'll tell him what, the questions we want to know, and he will be here next week. I imagine you'll be here next week, and he will address that.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah, I figured, yes.
Okay?
The tax forgiveness thing, I know we've been discussing this for a while. I've been,
Right.
under the impression this was going to be, kind of pulling the trigger on this imminently. I mean, I thought it would be done already, but I guess that's my question: is where are we on that? Are we ready to submit the ordinance and paperwork to get this started?
Yeah, I mean, I believe we'll be voting on the actual ordinance
Next Tuesday.
I advertise it in,
We're gonna ask Greg about the one part of it.
for the tax forgiveness or the tax forgiveness.
Is it on our agenda here?
Well, we talked about it pretty extensively.
But it's not on
No,
here. I don't
no,
see
it's
it.
not. Well, yeah,
Discuss
we
the
can.
real estate tax forgiveness right here. It's the first one, it's four from the bottom, it was the first one.
Yes, there it is, right there. What's
Like
the-
I said,
what's the issue?
inside it, what I said was inside the
Oh,
program
right, yes.
was the, having more properties, having so many properties, and if you fix one, you can't get the forgiveness on that one if you own other ones, and we got investors that wanna buy 4 or 5 properties. So, if they fix up one and they own taxes on the other ones, you can't get the program unless you pay all them taxes off. Well, they bought these houses to use the program to get them back on the rolls. And the way it's set up right now, if you buy, it's set up for you not to buy more than one at a time. And we got guys buying 5 or 6 at a time. So, I mean, we gotta get that to where it's on each one, we gotta talk to the solicitor.
And I'm not so sure if it's a good thing for someone buying more than 4 or 5 properties at one time. Because they'll have a tendency to work on one and sit on a bunch of other ones for years. So I'm not so sure about that either.
I don't think we
It can work both ways.
And that's not been my experience, what I've seen through this program. My experience is that the borough has sat on these properties for decades. So that's something that I'm concerned about. When I go to the borough and say, hey, there's a house here, it's tax delinquent for a decade plus, I'm told that, well, if the owner's dead, there's nothing we can do about it. Which I think there's a lot of things that can be addressed there.
There's no doubt. It's frustrating.
Yeah, it's very frustrating. And so, looking at some of these options, I think a lot of things are better than what we currently have.
Just to clarify, if you do change the ordinance as it's currently written, that will delay it a month.
Right. Well, we'll talk
Because
together.
that, we've advertised
We've already advertised it.
so.
We can make it work.
We can make an amendment to it down the road.
We might as well get it right the first time. Wait a month and get it.
You can make an amendment at the meeting, can't you? It's great.
If we're gonna do it, we might as well do it
Notified for
right,
30
because I'll be honest with you, we want investors to put these houses back on the rolls. And there's guys that get a chance to buy more than one property, they're gonna do it. And they don't try to let them sit too long.
Oh, I understand that, yeah.
I mean, look at 16th, the 200 block of 16th, somebody ride down there. That whole block is getting redone by all the investors that wanna come into Munhall. That was one of the worst streets in Homestead, it was on 16th Avenue by Tippy's. You should see the houses they're doing down there, it's amazing.
Between Maple and
What was that one that sold?
Between Maple and McClure.
There was a duplex, duplex that sold down there for around 280,000. On 16th Avenue where all the gunshots used to be. And they're working on a bunch more, and the one investor told me that the one's gonna be probably appraised at 300,000, because it's got 5 bedrooms. So we want these people to do this and put the money back into our properties and put them back on the tax rolls. And they're going on a lot larger than what they are in the beginning.
Well, you gotta remember too, with that tax forgiveness, they only have a certain amount of time to do it too, so.
Right.
If they don't do it,
Right.
They don't get it.
they don't get it, so usually you put in a year or two at the most and
Right, you're done.
so they can't
It
sell.
has to be.
Clock's ticking.
You
Right.
can't give them 2 years, it has to be, you can't give them
Right.
2 years. It just.
Borough's sat on them for decades, so why can't you give them 2 years? Sometimes it takes longer to rebuild a house than that.
Yeah,
Come on.
you have to come to the front. Sorry, Brad, you
What does,
finished?
what does the ordinance?
There was
read?
just one last thing about the LERTA situation. I know the planning commission is recommending that all of Munhall be included in terms of a deteriorating area. What action is council taking this upcoming meeting regarding that recommendation? Because that will allow.
What recommendations have we gotten from,
I don't have anything officially written down, I have some notes that I've taken.
did they send us anything?
They have not sent us anything yet.
You know, we used to have direct contact with the planning commission. They had a secretary, that it hasn't been the case. You know, we have hearsay from them, but we need
I
something
think
from
there
them.
has to be another meeting before anything.
One more
They
planning
voted,
meeting.
they voted on it.
They voted on it, yeah, but I don't have anything, I thought there was still some questions about what, well, you were there, right?
Yeah, well, we voted on it to approve the LERTA, or to approve the entire borough as a blighted area.
Does anybody from the planning commission contact us? Like, you have a secretary that lets us know exactly what's going on?
That's done with the chairman, PJ,
Okay.
is the point of contact as far as my
Because
understanding is.
Agnes Hogue used to be the secretary, and she was like amazing with it.
Yeah. But the recommendation come out of the planning commission, and the vote from the planning commission was to include the entire borough.
Yes, it was.
And with the understanding, as Brad was talking about, because there was a discussion in regards to the fact is that it was saying, the solicitor was here and he's put forth that LERTA is only business. We were thought we were under the understanding that it was both business and residential, that we could dovetail those two things. And that kind of put a hold on, the residential end of it, but our recommendation was like to move forward for the school district is we would identify what area in Munhall, and that would at least begin the process. That's what the school district is waiting on. Us to determine what area in Munhall would be affected under the LRTA.
Does anybody know where the music's coming from?
I was just gonna ask that.
Oh, that's probably the gym. Hey Jamie, that's maybe the gym.
Where?
I think I know it is, I'll shoot him.
Oh. Okay.
So to
Okay.
go back to the question, will there be some kind of official
Apparently,
action?
So is there a repercussion for a zone stating that the whole borough is blighted? Is there some designation that would hinder the borough for getting a bond or whatnot if we state that the whole borough is a blighted community? I'm just asking a question.
Now, that was a question.
I think it should be
Yeah, I
discussed.
think it's
That was a
also-
question that was,
Pardon me?
I think it's a good question.
Sure.
I don't think there is. I mean, I'm not aware of anything that
it
would.
was also, that was a question that was raised in that planning commission meeting, and the solicitor was supposed to get an answer on that, Rick.
Okay, because I certainly don't want to state, Munhall Borough is stating our whole
Right.
town is blighted, and now we go for a bond and we can't get a bond, because you know what, we're a blighted community, we don't have a good bond rating or whatever. I think it really needs to be discussed and researched before we go right ahead and vote on making the whole borough blighted, per se. That's just my question,
I have concerns about it too.
That is-
just a question.
The whole borough, I kind of like,
That was discussed, and
You
the
can't-
solicitor is supposed to give an opinion on that.
So I think, more to what you're saying, it should be pointed areas, that hey, this area from X street to X street is, we're gonna call
so you
that,
can concentrate on that area.
that area is a blighted area, and we're gonna put input into that area.
Right, I think that's,
I don't know that, and I don't know that solves your problem, because you're still labeling significant portions of the borough like.
I'm just asking questions.
Yeah.
right.
I'm just speaking.
Well, yeah.
Because I don't want it to come back and haunt
My,
the
my,
borough.
my concern though is that you're intimating solutions that may not even exist. These are not ghosts that we're fighting necessarily. So if there was an example of a community that labeled their whole community blighted and then they received some kind of negative effect, then sure, we should consider that. But a hypothetical about a
It's a question, it's not a hypothetical.
Oh, yeah, I understand.
It's not a hypothetical, and it's not a ghost. It's a reasonable assumption to ask, hey, are there ramifications if we do this? Period.
yes.
No questions asked. What is it? And certainly, is it better to put, you can have more than one area as a blighted area. It doesn't have to be just this X amount of streets, but I'm just questioning the ramifications of the whole borough being put in a basket and saying, this town is blighted. Is that a problem?
And as I think it was Mr. Firestone said, the solicitor was going to look into it, which, again, seems to be a theme at these type of meetings. If the solicitor was here, we could ask him, but I also fear that the solicitor would say, well, I have to look into that. And then we fast forward a week, we fast forward a month, we fast forward 2 months, and here we are again. My overall concern, if you're not catching on at this point, is that I don't...
We're catching on.
Yeah, I don't believe this borough takes blight and deteriorated properties that seriously. The fact that we have a misdrafted tax forgiveness ordinance, we didn't get any funds now 2 years in a row for Act 152. We've been talking about LRTA for over a year and have yet to see any type of action or any type of legitimate research presented from this council. It's a bit frustrating to see that it's beginning to come to the conclusion that this borough just simply does not take blight that seriously, which is a problem, especially for people that live in certain parts of this borough, like myself. I live on Margaret Street, plenty of vacant lots.
Plenty of blight
building.
there. I drove
Plenty
down
of
your
blight.
street this past week.
I'm sure you.
I counted 9 or 10 buildings that were blighted,
Yes.
terribly blighted. At least 10. I drove down very slowly, I didn't write addresses down, but I looked at the street and I thought, there's terrible blight on this street. There's vacant buildings, there's dilapidated buildings that people are living in, there are empty lots, there are houses that are maintained. They're not all blighted, but they are maintained. But you know,
How long have you lived there?
This is going on 6 years.
That street's been bad for years.
I've called it the worst street in Munhall for many years.
Without a doubt.
Used to be an amazing street.
Oh,
Used
I
to
know.
be.
Oh,
Used
I
to
have
be.
no doubt.
there was families
Yeah,
there,
no
there was
Well, it was a
kids.
good street back in the day.
But, you know, back to the point, I don't know I don't know how to solve this problem other than, do we need to form a task force? Do we need to do something that's more targeted and more focused? Because right now, even with the, heavy pressure and heavy, I would say community organization, we're still not getting much traction here.
Would you like to jump in and be
He
part of
has
this
been.
task force? You have been part of all this?
Yeah, I mean, if that's a solution that this council
Whatever
sees
you can help
as-
us with,
as
we're willing to
possible.
take your
I
help.
mean, that's,
He has been helping a lot.
Right.
yeah, I mean, that's what is tough, is to come to these meetings and,
Well, it's gotta be, I understand. It's
talk about
frustrating.
some of these legal
So,
situations.
Mr. President, do you want residents to drive around the neighborhoods and start pointing out neighbors' houses and saying, oh, this house is bad, this house is terrible? Because that's what's going on
I don't
right
know what your
now.
questions is, what do I mean?
Well, that's what you're insinuating, to have him be part of this group.
Right.
He's gonna drive around and look at houses,
Didn't say
which
you
he's
gotta drive
already
around-
doing.
Didn't say you gotta drive around.
He's already doing that.
Okay.
He's complaining and saying, this house is terrible.
Right.
And there's people, there's circumstances where our residents are living that they can't fix their house
Yeah.
on. So what is the answer?
They don't have
What
the
is the-
finance,
what
they
is
don't
the-
need to fix them.
What is the
You have
answer,
an
Brad?
elderly
Yeah, I
couple
mean,
that-
the answer is effective legislation to handle blight from the council.
And is
It's
Munhall,
effective code enforcement.
is Munhall responsible for fixing these houses?
I would say, I would hope that Munhall would take on some responsibility, considering you are the ones receiving the tax money from these houses.
Let me tell you
No,
something.
no.
I had 11 hearings today on blighted properties. How many do you think showed up?
One,
One. So the other 10 people, here goes what the problem is, got fined. Nothing's gonna happen to them. The cops don't go around, they can't go around and arrest them. You can't put anybody in jail for owing money. So I'll wait 45 days, do it again. Maybe. Some I will, some I won't. Because you know what? They won't show up again. Okay, so, to be honest with you, people say Munhall's really bad. Compare us to other areas. The Rankins, the Braddocks, the Homesteads,
Yeah,
the Duquesnes, blah, blah, blah.
I don't
We have
settle-
3% of blighted properties.
I don't
Of the
settle for that
6,000.
type of logic, because this is where we live, and we should handle the problems where we live. And if that's the case,
What do I do with a guy who lives up on Green Street, very nice street? He moved to Miami, Florida. He doesn't cut the grass. All right? We have solicitors saying we shouldn't go on properties because it's private property. If one of our guys get hurt, there's an issue. I mean, every area has blight. Everyone's fighting blight. There's no simple question to it. What did we do this past year? We have a blight and abandoned property things. We did we're gonna be doing a letter, we're gonna be doing tax forgiveness. Oh, there was one other thing we just did. The land bank.
So
we're working a lot. I think this past month, I sent out 131 citation letters. 131.
and where are the results?
Like I said, I'll wait, some will fix it, some won't. I take them to the magistrate, they don't show up.
So
Back to what you said.
I don't believe it's Munhall Borough's responsibility to fix a residential home that's owned by an individual.
No, it's not.
It's not. So I'm sorry, I disagree with you, Brad.
No, it's not. To use taxpayers' money to work on a home, and
Nobody's suggesting that,
I
but
kind of thought that's what you said.
no, I'm not suggesting that, but there are legal ways to address blight and to address code enforcement issues that I believe we are missing.
Can I say, I've studied this issue a long time,
Okay,
long time.
Jump
I
in
know
there.
this issue quite well.
go ahead.
There is no municipality in this entire state that has been able to figure this problem out. Not a one. This is every conference I go to, what to do about it. Everyone has all sorts of ideas. And what I said the first time, like 9 months ago, you gotta do all these different things and it's gonna take time to get these done. And I think the fact that we're actually moving forward with the land bank was a big push forward.
tax forgiveness is almost there, then the Lurdos we just started working on because just the capacity of being able to do everything at one time. I think that it's moving in the right direction, but you're not gonna, saying that we're not doing anything or this borough doesn't care about blight is, I think, a bit of an exaggeration. And I think all the things we're doing is gonna start addressing the problem, but there is an underlying problem of Allegheny County that we don't know how to solve. It's the fact that people are leaving, they're not coming back. And you have abandoned properties, people are dying, and all this stuff. And what do? You gotta think outside the box. I said this many times, you've gotta think outside the box and address this problem. We've gotta do what we can, but it's not gonna be a simple, quick little, 1 year, we should get it all done. No, it's gonna take us 10 years. If we can even get it turned around, because nobody's been able to figure it out.
I know last month they brought about the Martin property on Park Square. That's a beautiful home. They got it boarded up, they're paying their taxes, but they walked away from it. What do you do about that? It blows my, it's gorgeous home.
Actually, I think it just sold.
They're sell.
I think it just sold.
Good.
What are you talking about, the one next to the library right
Is
there?
it 433?
Yeah,
It just sold.
yeah, he's gonna fix it up.
Yeah. There was another one that just sold on 12th Avenue. Mr. Bitters was happy as can be. The guy died. Here, what do you do, Brad, in this example? The guy died 2 years ago, okay? It took him 2 years to settle the estate. They finally, the daughters agreed on what to do with it, to sell it. It sold. It took 2 years for them to sell the estate.
And that day, last weekend, they went down and cleaned the lot up.
They cleaned, yeah, and they'll be back.
And Brad, once this tax forgiveness gets in place, you're gonna see stuff move a lot.
Yeah, I think so.
And it's just taking a little while to get it, we gotta get it right.
It takes too long. We knew that.
It takes way too long.
Yeah, this has been a slog, but,
And like Tim said, there's them guys down on 16th, they're all ready to come into Munhall. They're all waiting. You got investors waiting.
certainly.
And as soon as that tax forgiveness goes into place, you're gonna see them coming.
All right.
They're gonna move in the right direction. I think we're moving in the right direction.
And they're not gonna take forever to do their houses, because they borrow the money on their houses. They're paying hard money lenders for that. So they're paying interest on that. So the quicker they get them up and get them done, the quicker they don't have to pay no more interest.
I think we're moving in the right direction big time. We're getting there. It's a process. And not, like you said, not having Greg here has, hurt us a lot. You know, we have questions today, and we wait till next week. If Dave don't write them down, I don't write them down, I forget. Now we're a month later. So, I mean, it's something we need to really look into for next year, 100%. We changed meeting dates to the 3rd, the 4th.
You ever make it work for him? Yeah, we can do it.
Dave, can you make sure that you contact him and have him make sure that at next week's meeting that he has an answer to
I've got a list of things
the
here.
blight
Ask
question?
Greg.
I was gonna call him tomorrow anyway, Rusty.
Yeah, but make sure he has an answer for the blight. 'Cause
Exactly.
Rick is right, I mean, we don't wanna be, you get into a situation, we label the whole borough blighted, and then all of a sudden it hurts us financially later on down the road. We need to have an answer to that.
Right. I'll give an answer tomorrow. Once I get an answer, I'll send it to the council.
Thank you.
Darlene?
Charlene, yeah, just real quick, Charlene. David.
Charlene, I'm sorry.
That's okay. 719 East 11th Avenue, just real quick, I have a question for you, Dave. If, like, the investors that are coming in, are they actually reselling the houses? Are they renting them? Because we definitely want people to come into the area with their
Some are
children.
selling and some are renting.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't know what's out there, what kind of ordinances we have, but I get worried a lot about some of the houses getting broken up and rented. I've been just sitting back watching all this, and what I've been seeing is it appears that there's a communication disconnect, especially with the planning committee, at least is what I've noticed. And I know that there's been a lot of people who are not on the planning committee that haven't been showing up, and like you haven't gotten the minutes and from the last meeting, which was just last week. So just wondering, you've got to solve, at least that problem could be solved, couldn't it? By just looking into the planning commission, looking at, is there a charter for it? You know,
Well, I think
what
we
are the
talked
rules,
about-
what are the responsibilities, and what is the deadline to get the minutes to you guys so you can?
We have the ability to totally dismantle the planning commission and put it on the members if you want.
Well,
I think we should look into it.
yeah, so that's all I was gonna say,
Yes.
you know. Thank you.
Go ahead, Bill.
Well, go ahead.
Let me add a couple things here. Okay, in reference to the whole borough, to the blight. You can get the answer, okay?
Excuse me?
You can get the answer whether it would help or hurt you.
Right.
That's simply by calling the people that rate you on the bonds. If you look at your last 2 bond reports, which was last year, and I believe in 22, because when I was on in 22, it goes specifically into there, and you can call them to ask them. It's easily done, okay? There's also another opportunity in reference to data. The county tax assessment data, it's brand new. It's in June of 2025, okay? And I've taken the data, and we talked about this last week, and there are a number of things. So we looked at vacant lots, okay? And you can look at classifications. There are vacant lots that are commercial, vacant lots that are residential. There are builders' lots also, okay? The thing that ties them together to whether they are available for county program is the fact whether they paid their taxes, okay? So, Dave, I know that there was a request or right to know about some tax information, okay? So the capability, and I will gladly take this data and share it with you all. And my plan is, to work with Brad and a few of his folks, is to put together really, which does not require you to go look at houses, because the houses are indeed graded by the county themselves. It has all the parcels associated with them, and then there is the county GIS, and if you took that information, if you took the tax data and combined it with, because the tax assessment data has the parcel ID, okay? It doesn't have the owner, and it doesn't have the tax status, which comes from the tax collector. If you combine that, I don't really need to know who the owner is, okay? What you need to know is, are these properties themselves, when you're looking for opportunities, are these available for these programs? And there's a number, there's Act 135, there's a number of other county programs, about the land bank itself. The information is eye-opening now, to be fair, and if you look at different regions of the borough, the vacant lots are different. So I looked at the Ravine Street area. Now, without the topographical maps, okay, sides of hills, which Dave and I had a little interaction right there, are there really much opportunity with those 59 vacant properties? Well, the ones that are on the side of the hill, most likely not, okay? But it's really, you could take this information with the Planning Commission itself, and you're looking at the long game, okay? And the long game being is taking all these programs that are available with the data and see where the opportunities exist, okay? And that's the thing, really there. And one of the things, they grade properties, okay? So you can go and there'll be a snapshot of that property for some period of time. It could be very old, okay? You could then use Google Earth and get the most current snapshot without even having to get in your car to do it. You could take these things right there with a GIS system.
I've sat there with Dave in his office and done this, by the way.
Great. That's fantastic, because I think that mapping this would give you the ability to take a very complex subject and make it so the lay person, and is not an engineer, is not a GIS or a GIS person, to be able to make good decisions. And there is another opportunity also, which is the fact, and I keep bringing this up, which I'll put in a formal ask to write a note in reference to GPI with the street study, because they also collected what is called LiDAR information. And that LiDAR information will give you the view of all the streets. You could share that right there. There's so many things you could do with that. You could plot, where all your catch basins are if you don't have, all your fire hydrants. You could do a lot of things with this data. Now, I know you don't have a huge staff to do all this stuff, and I certainly don't expect Dave Cannon to do, because Dave is doing very operational things, okay? He's tied up in operational things. He has very little time, and I would say the same thing for the borough manager, to do more than operational things. Perform strategic things, you can't do them both at the same time. It does not work, okay? So the reality of having a planning group that took data right there, and put the information to the planning commission and to the council right there with suggestions where to move ahead in which programs, that would be the most beneficial thing itself to do. You know, I'm willing to work with Brad and some numbers to put this data together itself. And you know, the best thing is, it's free.
So Bill, just speaking on what you're speaking about,
Yeah.
and they are rated different levels of the properties and lots.
Absolutely.
So years ago, they used to have a property rating, it was called slope, if you remember what slope was. If you look in any of the old mappings, slope was a property, slope was a name for hillsides or properties that were not really buildable. So they don't really do that today. So they could go to Creek Street and the property owners that were here today, they could cut their property off and make it a separate lot down there, make that a separate lot from the road down, and sell it to someone. From, who the heck knows, New York City, you could come in and say, I'm gonna buy these property lots.
Rick, you're right, because I've done some research up behind my house up on that hillside.
I've been all up that hillside.
No, I've done it online.
Uh-huh.
And there's one guy that owns about 4 or 5 properties up there on that hillside. They're not buildable, they're nothing, but he owns them.
No, I know.
Exactly what you just said.
Right. So there's all kinds of things that you really have to see what is there, what is really buildable, what is not buildable, and, and life goes on.
I was talking to my wife about this too on Sunday, and I said, you gotta look at whether it's buildable, if it has been built on, and the biggest question is someone going to be willing to pay $300,000 or $400,000, which is the average cost of a new house in certain areas?
Well, they just sold one on Ravine Street, it's a used house.
$150,000.
$152,000.
But $300,000 is twice as much.
Yeah,
That's the big question. Because I was talking to Jesse Wigg. Jesse Wigg goes, that's the question. I mean, everyone knows real estate. Location, location, location. I mean, how many people are willing to pay $300,000 to $400,000? Because it costs around $225,000 to put an average house. No, you walk in and say, okay, $225,000 to build a house. Average three-bedroom house.
That's a low end too.
That's the low end. Bertie, So you're looking at $300,000 to $400,000. So a lot of areas you may not get that money.
Ain't nobody building a house down on Ravine Street.
My point
Right?
is,
How many houses could go down? We have probably 10 empty lots down Ravine Street, if not more. How many people are going to buy $300,000 to $400,000? So that you go from 50 lots down to 40 because they're on hillsides and that, and now you're looking at 20 houses on 4 or 5 streets. Will someone be willing to pay a $300,000, $400,000 house?
first off, the number is just, you would have to overlay the map of the sewers, the road structure, the electrical infrastructure itself, okay? Do I think there's a lot of opportunity? The answer is no, okay? I don't, okay? And when I said it, I've said the caveat is you really need to do more research. There may or may not, and the reality is for the borough itself, the liability itself, if someone is not paying the taxes on a property that's a hill, are you any more liable? Answer is no, okay? So you might just leave that sleeping dog lie. It's really looking at, finding out where the opportunities are. And you might find out at that 336 that the opportunities might be 50, okay? One of the other things, one of the county programs is the fact that allow people to, the lot next door to them, keep it as a separate lot, okay? So you don't build upon it, so there's not a huge increase in your property taxes. If you look at vacant lots themselves, I mean, they're part of the program. And if you look at, example is Timberwood. When you look at the initial data, you go like, oh, there's vacant lots on Timberwood. There are, but they pay their taxes, and it's the lot next door to their house, okay? So there is a lot of information, if you just look at it from 10,000 feet, you don't know if it's an opportunity or not. It takes work, okay? And that's the point. The reality is, for you guys to really understand, you need to understand the numbers of the planning commission right there. to take a look at where the opportunities and which programs that would make sense. Okay, builder's lots is a classic. Up by the Hayes Mansion, there are a bunch of builder's lots. They pay all the taxes. Okay, so,
Thank you, Bill.
all right, I hope, we'll put some things together and I hope we can, help.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. You're always a big help. Items for consideration. Discuss next steps for Creek Street project. Think you already did that?
Yeah.
Salt bin options. Here we go.
All right, well, to be honest, I don't actually have any good ideas, but I'm gonna try. I've run out of options, to be honest.
What have we talked about?
All right, so we've got St. Elias Church as one option.
St. Elias property, Homestead Duquesne
There's a
Road.
wooded lot
We'll
that
look
is
at it.
next to a grassy lot, so it's right next to the auto body place. That is a possibility. We had initial discussions, not sure about the price yet. That would take some time to do, to get it all set up if we went down that route. The space is there, but there are concerns about the noise for the neighbors, especially in the middle of the night. Next option is on Waterfront Drive.
What's the place we were just paying our solicitor to do some research on for the solar panels?
Yep, that one has space and no neighbors, which is ideal. It is further away from most of the routes. I'm having Bob work this week, probably on Friday. He's gonna run 3 routes for me, time all the routes from 3 different locations where we are now, where the St. Elias spot, and then also from the waterfront, using times and running each of those routes to see how long it takes, because I suspect, just knowing the geography and the road network could add probably 15% of time to the routes from Waterfront Drive. But I don't have numbers yet, but I hope that.
So is Bob sending out these guys at 3 o'clock in the morning, the time when they're usually out plowing?
No,
2 o'clock in the
no, we're
morning?
not gonna do that, but we're gonna compare. The key here is the comparison between the 3 different locations. We're not gonna get an exact number, we're gonna get a comparison.
Majority of our salting, it snows usually overnight. and
No,
come
I
out first thing in the
understand
morning. So if we're gonna do that type of work, send somebody out at 2 o'clock in the morning and time.
Well, yeah, I understand what you're saying, but we're not looking for an exact time, we're looking at, let's say it takes, for Route A, it takes 60 minutes from the Borough building to run that route. And from St. Elias, it takes 55 minutes, and from the waterfront, it takes 50 minutes. I'm looking at a comparison just to get an idea. Obviously, it's gonna be consistent across the board, it's gonna be the same traffic throughout the day, because at night or during the day, it's gonna be similar.
I don't see it being much of a big difference.
That's why I'm gonna find out. I don't know.
Honestly, I think if you're servicing Munhall Gardens, you're closer there. If you're servicing lower Munhall through that area, I think you're better there. I mean, there's always gonna be routes where you're gonna
Well,
have
it's
to.
gonna be very,
you're gonna
I
have
just
to
kinda
drive
wanna
to
get an
certain
idea of what
distances. So, I mean, I think it's all.
It might be no
comparable.
difference, it might be comparable. So
I mean,
that's-
Munhall is what, 3-4 miles? radius?
2.4 miles.
Yeah, so I don't think it's really that big of a play on that,
All right.
to be honest with you.
So that's a possibility. And the last possibility, well, I guess we have to move the salt bin. I mean, we could go, so the end of the lower lot, basically going into, so we're paving up to, what's the building right there that we're paving up to, basically?
The old,
Dreshman's building?
the old incinerator over
There,
Oh,
that's gonna be
incinerator.
the edge of the new lot.
Okay.
So there'll be space from that port all the way
That building.
to where the shed is right now, which would be enough space, but the concern there is it wouldn't cause any noise, and if it's in the middle of the night, it's not gonna affect anything, because nobody's gonna be there. But if we have to do it when there's cars there, it could be a little bit of a problem. Does that make sense what I'm explaining?
Yes.
So
Do you
that's,
want the trucks running up and down the new asphalt that we just got, dropping salt everywhere? It's gonna eat the pavement up.
And they've been doing it for 2 years already.
so that's a concern, although
They've been doing it for 2 years.
Can I ask you a question? We get salt and we help Homestead, West Homestead and whatnot?
Just
They need
Homestead.
salt- Just Homestead. So what do we do with Homestead as far as
They
salt?
deliver the salts
To us?
to us and we load it up into their vehicles.
Okay.
How do we keep track of what they use?
How do we do that, Bob?
The backdoor operator marks down how many buckets. Only a scoop of salt at a time.
So they have no storage of a salt bin?
No.
No.
Maybe they would work together with us to build a salt bin.
We talked to them about,
And maybe
Probably down here.
if we did that down at the waterfront, they have a road that goes right to, they could make a road that goes right to the railroad tracks as well, because they own that property.
they own that property.
Right next door. So we could have a conjunction building, put maybe in the back of that lot, working both sides, and Homestead could build, us together with Homestead could build a salt bin back there that could be used, that would not take up the whole lot, and we could have service from both sides into that area for the salt bin. Just a thought.
No, it's
Just a
been-
thought.
it's
And
been brought up.
and also, I think, I would love to see a park still built down in that lot, down in that property. I think it would serve more than, the borough would be better served with that than per se a electric field down there. What do they call them?
Solar farm.
Solar
A
panels.
farm down there.
I'm not as comfortable with the park idea because of the fact that there's 2 railroad tracks and the fencing, there's no fencing there.
And the soil's contaminated, you
Yeah,
have to dig down so much.
Yeah, I know. It's not contaminated. I read we read that a long time ago. We're not gonna go, I don't wanna argue about that right now. It's,
Well,
the whole waterfront is built down there on the same soil. So it's not contaminated. No one's living down there. They drilled one spot where they found lead, if you're gonna talk about that, Dave. One spot in the whole 7.5 acres is where they hit a lead, they probably hit a battery down, it was buried in the ground. So, and just so y'all know, I did write a grant at the time, a long time ago, for a fence to be put around the whole property that we could have had done, and the council didn't want to do that. Just so you know.
Well, a fence would obviously be needed, but kids are kids and they like to climb fences, that's my concern.
All right, let's move on for the, we'll go to the LERTA. We've got discussed the LERTA, right? We're done with that?
I think so.
Discussion of building sign options. What do you got going there, Dave?
All right, so I have 4 bids in your packets. Actually, before we do that, there are a couple things I didn't get a chance to put on the agenda, but just more information. There's a map here, coverage proposal. This is, Jamie, you want to explain this to me a little better than I can probably?
Okay.
You want to explain this for me?
Yes.
You see the map?
That is a map of locations where we have a new camera system that's a proposal.
You have it?
Yeah.
You got it?
Is this the map?
Yep.
That is it, yes.
Oh, I found it.
Locations where they're gonna put
Sure.
live cameras and plate reader cameras coming in and out of the borough, which will help with investigation of crimes in the neighborhood. They're gonna do it as a trial period, roughly 6 months, up to 6 months. They're installing them for free, and if we decide to go with them, and I believe the quote was $18,000, but that quote will change because West Homestead and Homestead is doing the same. If they're on board as well, then that quote will be lower.
All right.
That's actually pretty good, because when I got run over by a car on Main Street, the plate readers up in West Mifflin picked up the car, and that's how they caught it.
How'd the car make out?
Car was fine.
So could you go over this map again, because I couldn't hear what you had said. So all these little circles on here are different new cameras that are gonna be installed?
No.
Right on this side. Tells you where the camera's gonna be.
There are two spots.
Yeah, up in the left-hand part of the paper there, it
Uh-huh.
tells you the locations that the cameras will be.
Farragut Street,
And whatever.
Ravine Street, Whitaker Way, and Farragut Street, Maine.
one of the major throughways for crime that happens with our neighboring areas. When we had those rash of shootings in 2014, our lower half with Homestead, that's where all their paths of travel were. Coming in and out of committing crimes.
That's how you pick them spots.
Well, we wanted the cameras on 8th Avenue and Ravine Street for years.
Yes.
That's a high traffic volume area, absolutely.
And those set of cameras will cover 8th Avenue, Ravine Street, and Whitaker Way, like that 3-point
Intersection, all
So they
intersections.
can't go anywhere without coming in and out of our town parking.
Or we'll go facing down Ravine Street.
It'll just catch coming onto Ravine or coming off Ravine, whether it makes it left on 8th Avenue or right. And then also if it goes up Whitaker Way or comes down Whitaker Way. If it comes down Whitaker Way and makes a right, we're covered with the flyover bridge and the one on 8th Avenue there, which are owned by the college, but we're still covered by there. They're a competitor with the current plate reader company. They're called PlateSmart. PlateSmart, just alone for that 8th Avenue, Ravine Street, Whitaker Way intersection, they wanted $29,000. And theirs for all these were 18, and probably are going to come down. This company is new to Pennsylvania. We're going to be the first ones. All the Lowe's home improvements use them. They're in West Virginia, in Ohio. That's all the camera systems there. They're just coming to Pennsylvania, so they're going to be PlateSmart's competitors.
Okay. So Chief, I'd like to just mention to you, several years ago you were in my shop.
Yes.
And there was a shooting, I believe.
There was.
And I had installed cameras in my shop. And we were very helpful to the Munhall Police Department. And I'm just saying this for all the residents of Munhall. Put cameras out of your home. Use them. And if the police need, if something happens, share with the police. They want your help and your input. I put lights around my building, I put cameras out there. All those things really help for public safety.
When we were investigating that murder,
Yes.
we retrieved 47 cameras of the bad guys.
Wow.
That was pretty amazing. And as cheap as cameras are, I mean, it's just.
Not like it was 30 years
It's really
ago.
no brainer.
Yeah. Just saying that, not for me.
No,
Yeah, I'm saying for the people, the town. Put them out there and start using them.
I have two.
There you go.
I have two.
Like when we were talking about the Main Street and that and the businesses, and that's the first thing I said. Some of these businesses don't have no cameras. And I have 8 cameras all around the house. I paid $500 for them. And it's just, it's 2 terabytes of information. I can run them for 10 days straight, and then it overrides. It overwrites it. So,
Yep.
I mean, it's pretty cheap, and they're very good. I get license plates going up my hill.
Wow.
I wave to you all the time.
I say,
I think this is great, Chief.
yeah, thank you.
HVAC maintenance agreement.
One more thing. So we also have, from KLH Engineering, we have updated numbers for the Main Street project.
Okay.
Finally have them done. They are 2.2 million for the project.
2.2, how short are
We're short about $1 million.
Wow.
So
What did you say?
the Main Street updated numbers,
Okay,
2.2 million, you got a sheet in front of you.
okay, well,
We're gonna be, talking with Dan, apply for 2 grants this month. The Main Street Matters program, which we got already for last year, and then also GEDTF, which is gaming money. So hopefully we can fill in the gap, most of the rest of the gap on this. The electrical's a lot more expensive than the last round. But that's where we are.
Okay.
we're short $1 million?
Yep.
So
But this is a rough estimate, so hopefully the bids will come in.
What is our game plan then?
Do it block by block, get what done we can, hopefully raise the next bid over the next year.
We do it block by block, then the times, if we don't
Yeah,
finish
but
it all, it's
the
gonna look unfinished.
critical expense here, 1.5 million, 1.2 million is electricity. You're not gonna pour concrete down and then tear it up again afterwards.
I understand that.
So we can basically put the electrical down.
Well, you can also do the bricks and the lights and all that in one phase, and then the town will look finished when it comes through. And then you can come back and do the concrete later when you have the extra money. This way you
The
already.
concrete is what, $100,000? Not even, that's my.
Okay, do the concrete first, and then don't mess with the lights. But don't just do block by block, because we know Munhall, if it don't get the money, they're not gonna do it.
I don't know about that. Eventually,
It'll take years, come on,
if you stretch it out, everything looks like half baked.
whatever.
Where if you go block to block, at least it's finished and you step ahead. I mean, I don't know. Either way,
Where would we consider starting at?
list stacks,
Starting at list stacks?
that's why I hear, right?
It was list stats to the cemetery, not the cemeteries, to the funeral homes.
Funeral homes.
Okay.
And then continue on as far as we can go with how the bids come
So
back.
that's Miller to Superior, Miller to West Virginia.
No, faster.
Yeah, Superior comes down.
So if we.
Emerson comes up.
Emerson.
Emerson comes up.
So let me ask you, so if we do that, and that's fine, whatever, so we go from, what, St. Teresa's or list stacks down to the funeral homes. We're gonna purchase all the benches, the trash bins and all the planters and everything. We're gonna store them for one area that we're not doing yet.
I don't know.
So just, well, we should know, we need to know what we're gonna do, so we need to think about what we're doing before we just get, hey, let's just do it. So we're gonna do this section, but we're gonna order all this stuff at one time, I would think. It's a one-time order, isn't it,
I
Dave?
would think so. I mean, right now, it's been put out to bid, and we're gonna see what the numbers come back at.
Okay,
This is what Matt's estimate is with his electrical guy, which is where most of the expense came from. Very about $800,000 more in electrical than the original.
The problem with doing it section at a time you get done to the next section, the price has gone up 20%. You know. But if you
Yeah.
stretch it out too far, you don't get what you want. You know, it's,
Yeah, well, we'll talk with Matt next week.
We have to get some shovels in the ground,
quick,
or the state can give us any more money in grants.
right,
We're already sitting on $1.1 million.
gotta start somewhere.
We have to start. We
Give
keep
me an
waiting for more money.
See, if any idea, you can't keep waiting for more money.
We have to get started.
Yeah, you get started.
agreed,
Yes.
agreed.
You gotta get started.
And I think if you start at that end, that's not gonna be the most complicated end.
No.
You could run straight down to even just the intersection even, but not even go past the next intersection, Virginia Avenue. Because that's where all the lights are for all the traffic lights and all that stuff. It might be running pretty quickly down on that side.
When we walked it with Matt, Dave, Bob, myself, he thought we could get to Emerson with the money that we have, get up to Emerson.
Emerson.
At
Oh,
least,
another
at
block.
least there, or even maybe further,
Right.
depending on how the numbers came back. He thought we could get to Emerson.
Anything else, Dave?
Oh, yeah. So that's it for that. The building signs. We've got 4 different things here. Look at them over the next week. And then we'll go next week. I'll just give you a quick overview. So I asked for a bunch of options. On the outside of the building here, either taking the logo that we have and putting that on there, or just putting block lettering up there. Light it up, or not, depending, but probably light up would look better. So there's a variety of different options. For example, option 1 is our logo, which is gonna cost $18,000.
That's this one right here.
Plus another basically $20,000 for that. Option 2, that's with halo lit letters and large backer. And option 2 is a little cheaper. Option 3 is just traditional channel letters on custom. This is the first one, by the way. And then the last one.
If we're here and you need anything, call us. Because we're only a couple campers away, day or night, doesn't matter.
Yeah. So the ranges are from, basically, for the first person, first company, it's about $18,000 to $20,000 per building and sign. And then in front of the lower entrance is lettering $2,000 to $3,000.
Are we putting anything on the top entrance?
We can do the same thing, it would probably cost very similar to that.
So Dick,
Yeah.
what is actually lit
Um,
on these diagrams here? Is the whole thing lit? The whole circle?
This one, the whole thing is lit.
The whole thing is lit?
Is that number 4?
Number 3?
What about number 4?
Number 4 also, yes.
Yeah,
So that's number 2.
3 also.
Where's number 3 at?
Right here.
I
Are
got
both
it.
of the lights lit on number 3?
What about 1 and 2?
1 and 2 is lit,
What's lit though? The whole
lighted
thing?
up, halo lit letters, okay.
The whole thing is lit?
No, just the actual logo is lit.
And the letters, right?
Yeah, the logo and letters, yeah.
Yeah, the actual letters light themselves.
Yeah, the letters light, so that logo basically
Lights
is
itself.
lighted up. They're comparable prices, yeah, so that's why they're all.
Anybody want to see these?
That's the
I'd
first
love to see it,
option.
but I just have one question.
Just wait a second, okay? Come and see them anyway.
I'll see it after.
Now, G, graphics 22 signs, similar price, 18,000 for the option number 1, which is just the block lettering, Borough of Munhall, lighted up. And there's a couple of pictures, they don't show it quite as well, but they show the Cranberry Township had contract with them recently, and that's what it kind of looks like in the last 2 pages of that.
Are we getting Tesla too? Starbucks?
Some naming rights.
Yeah,
On this one here,
yeah.
you know, you got it out here on the front, but ain't nobody gonna see that. Because nobody's gonna see that out there. What about down the side on this where they're gonna be driving down the road?
Or you mean like underneath the awning right here?
No, on the side of the roof. Is it long enough to put Munhall Borough there or municipal building?
Where?
On
On the side, so as you're
Instead
driving
of on
down the
front,
road.
like right here,
Yeah.
put it on the side, because when you come down the road, you'll see it.
Oh, I see.
If you leave it on
That'll
the
be
front, the
small-
only way you're gonna see it is if you're
Smaller
on the field.
lettering, so it'll be a little cheaper, but yeah, that's doable, that's like the, yeah, that'll be a smaller lettering because it's not as wide there. But yeah, I can make that.
I do like the Borough of Munhall on top of the awning.
I did like that too. which
I do too,
I
but
didn't see it. I lost
nobody's
it.
gonna see it.
Okay, I can see the other
Waste
side, I
of
guess what
money.
you're saying.
You'll be able to see it from the field.
Yeah,
That's
Maybe.
it.
okay, people come down the
All right, so
road,
that's,
they can be able to
that's,
see it.
They're gonna be able to see the one, they come in, the big one on the side of the building, okay?
now the one that's much more affordable is our local sign company, but it's more of a vinyl, not lighted up at all. That's like $700.
That is
And the last one is Mastro Signs. Similar, just lettering, but it's backlighted, like the Tesla showed us. That's what it kind of looked like. And that one is going for,
This one.
that one is.
Right, hey,
Yeah.
our chief, our assistant chief over here says it should say Munhall Municipal Building instead
Munhall
of
Borough Municipal Building
Munhall
on that
Borough
side. of it.
Municipal Building on the side.
On the side.
Yeah.
Munhall.
And then have the
Instead of
logo out
Borough
front.
Munhall, because you have it on the wall.
Yeah, okay, Munhall Municipal Building,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Good job, chief.
That's big.
Assistant chief.
How much was budgeted for this?
Excuse me?
How much was budgeted for this?
Well, we budgeted about $50,000 for improvements to the building for the year.
Can I ask one question?
Yeah.
This was a long debate before. What happened to the old letters?
We found, Seth had them here, my fact was still sitting in the office over there. It come down to, even before he left, he said, we might not want to even use these. And they came in and we found out they weren't even, it would be better to just buy new ones, basically, than use the old ones. Now they come in and retrofit the lights and all that, it just wasn't worth it. One's still sitting in the office, right?
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
Well, maybe, if they're not usable, maybe use them as a sense of history that you put them somewhere to
Oh, yeah.
I gotta find them all first. I have 2 of them.
Probably gone.
I wish I'd never taken them down, to be honest with you.
I do too.
So, let me know if you have any questions about this, discuss it, we can talk about it more next week if you want.
Okay.
It's not pressing, we don't have to do it like
No.
next week, so if we wait another month, whatever, so.
Okay.
HVAC maintenance.
Yes, so, one of the problems we have is, we had a company come and kind of look at our HVAC system and determine whether it's effective or not. And we don't really have anybody maintaining it currently. So there's a contract here for an annual maintenance of $6,000, for $5,800, to have them maintain it twice a year. Now, I can also get some more bids as well. I just wanted to let you know that we should probably start looking at some sort of preventive maintenance for our AC system.
Big time. Since we just found out we didn't have the number of units we had, we
Yeah.
just kind of found that out the last 3 months.
So that's just something I want to, I'll try to get some more bids because it's just one. But we do need to move forward with that. And then once we get somebody here that we can actually rely on, then they can kind of do some tests on the actual system and see what we actually need to do to make this building properly. So, taken care of.
Done?
For that, yes.
Planning Commission recommendation, we already went through that. We didn't get minutes from them.
We don't have it yet,
We
right?
don't have it.
When do they meet?
First last week.
They met last week? We don't have anything from them yet? Well, that's not acceptable.
Exactly.
It's not acceptable.
It's been going on forever.
Who said exactly?
I mean, I thought about, we talked about just cleaning house, changing the whole planning commission, put new people on, and start from scratch.
Well, I don't think you need to do that, but I think you need to have them say, hey, we need a report from you.
You've already done that.
What day do they meet?
You've already done that.
The first Tuesday, yes.
So by that Friday, you should have something.
Rich, we've already done that.
Then do
I've talked to people here, what are you guys doing? After meetings?
We've never gotten anything from them
Nothing.
for years.
Right.
So, whatever.
Didn't we vote to reduce it?
We did.
We did.
We did reduce it.
But they weren't gonna reduce it until the people ran out of their time, I believe.
Well, there was a recommendation I was waiting for from the planning commission on how to reduce the.
Why are we waiting on them to give us, and this isn't towards you, Dave, why are we waiting on them?
That was a discussion.
Our solicitor should tell us how to reduce it.
It's really up to council.
Up to council, he told us.
The council can, next week, vote on tape. Solve it and go new people, or these two people are gonna be gone, whatever you guys wanna do.
The problem is, I talked to BJ, they ask people if you want to stay, they say stay, they still don't show up.
Well, I just look at attendance.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
who are the lower attendance?
You're gone.
Excellent.
You're gone.
I can have two names for you next week if you want.
Is there not a charter with rules?
Yes.
What does the charter say?
The rules are set up usually by the state, and the state sets rules up on how the mayor acts, how the council acts, how the planning commission acts. They're all bylaws set up by the state.
Okay.
And then we set up, if we want to enact a tree committee, we enact a tree committee in Munhall. So it can be anything that council wants to do.
Planning commission operates under the guidance of the council.
Okay.
Get the information from them, but they're not coming back with us with the information we need from them.
So my recommendation to you, Mr. President, is you should tell them, appoint someone as your secretary and have them give us a report on every meeting 2 days after the meeting.
I will talk to him.
That's my opinion.
I kind of already did, but it didn't happen.
Okay?
Okay.
Well, next month we'll.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
I mean, this has to get done this week. I mean, in the next few.
Oh, no, get the report from
This
them.
is
Oh,
gotta
no. Exactly.
I mean, we've already delayed Steel Valley School
I
District.
understand. We're not going to wait for
For
them
how
anymore.
long?
No, we're not waiting for them. We're going to go to them and say, what's going on?
Yeah, this is,
It's ridiculous.
yeah, it's totally unacceptable.
Lower parking lot update. I'm afraid to even ask that one.
So, we met with, Matt and I, and, Bob, met with, Melee, whatever.
You,
Melee. The, company has been assigned it. They're going to start, do we have another date yet, do we know? They said 2 weeks from, when did we meet with them, last Thursday?
Last Thursday.
2 weeks, within 2 weeks from last Thursday. So sometime next week they're gonna start, it'll take them 3 days.
Is that the company that takes care of the waterfront?
Yes.
Is it? Same one?
Yes.
Okay.
So, the Devereaux, the school here wanted it done by the 25th, and it'll be done by the 25th.
Okay.
So that's moving forward, and then.
And they are gonna paint the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Yep, so it looked nice.
Good.
I've instructed Bob to start cleaning up some of the other stuff, and we're gonna paint the, they sanded today, right?
Yeah.
The railing, so the sand of the railing, they're gonna paint the railing next week or so. We're gonna start fixing up some of the other, this one all looks nice.
Catch basin.
And the catch basin, we're gonna bring somebody in for that, Brookline?
Next week.
We gotta have it done before they start working on
Yeah,
it.
it's half a day.
Fine.
So it'll look not just the asphalt, but the whole area's gonna look nicer.
Great.
Act 49, ordinance discussion.
Yeah, any other questions about that? The council needs to vote on whether they wanna adopt the ordinance next week.
Act 49 is about
The
the
buyback. Yeah.
Good.
We talked about that in
Executive session.
legal tax service contract.
So I heard from the meeting last week, the planning meeting, there was they talked about a bunch of stuff that wasn't really germane to the planning commission, I heard. But one of the things, the complaints came up from the residents was, complaints about legal tax service agreement we have in terms of garbage collection and the back taxes. So I found a copy of the agreement that was signed in 2020 for 7 years, which means that expires in January of 2027. Which means we are in a good position if the council would like to move forward, trying to find someone else, or doing it ourselves, whatever council would like to do. But we have 6 months next year to figure something out.
It's been a problem for years.
I think we should look elsewhere.
Yes.
I think we should bring it in-house.
I would love to see that.
What'd you say?
I don't think we're
It'll
capable.
save us money.
Dave,
Be
I'm
great.
trying to hear what you said.
What's that? I'm sorry.
Can we vote now to, not to renew that contract?
Yeah, I can put that on the agenda for next week, yeah.
I think that would be the best thing to do, so we can at least tell them, so no one can say, come 2027, well, we forgot, now we got 7 more years of having.
They can change that, though. The next council can vote whatever they want.
Correct, they can, but
Just saying.
we can say that we voted to
Yeah,
stop.
we did the right thing anyway.
Right.
I'm gonna read through this more carefully, but there's usually a lag time, how much notice we need to give them.
There probably is.
In the Midland, it was 9 months. Fortunately, I don't think it's that bad here.
Bill, do you remember how long it was?
I think it was 6 months, you don't give them notice within that period of time, auto renews, because that's what happened before.
Yeah, no, I'll put a calendar on my calendar to make sure I notify them before.
The recommendation, I can tell you what, there was a lot of discussion about that. So people were questioning about everything about legal tax, okay? And the reality is the contract has an auto renewal clause in it, okay? So use your solicitor to review the contract, or all of the contracts, which would be money well spent right there, and free up time for the borough manager to work on other things. This is selective outsourcing with a professional, and do it, and get his recommendation on all the contracts. And that way you can go in and you won't be surprised. Just do it. It's money well spent.
I think we vote on that next week.
Okay, that's on the agenda. Everybody agree?
I believe you
Sure.
could make a motion right there for the solicitor to review all your contracts. And that would be the simplest way to do it.
We don't have to have a motion for that, we can just tell them to do it.
You could, but if
He
you
works for
want
us.
it to be part of the public record,
He works for us.
you can do
Okay.
that. That would be the smartest thing to do.
Okay.
Discuss the real estate tax forgiveness ordinance.
So we did already.
Did it?
I texted PJ, and he said that he emailed Mr. Ty the recommendations for the planning commission.
Wonderful. I think what you just said, Bill, was awesome. I agree. I think going back to the contract,
All of your contracts.
I mean, we cannot let this thing renew again.
No.
We can't do that. They are abusing our residents big time. And that even goes with everything that they collect.
The residents don't want to deal with it.
No, they don't.
I know, I talked to a friend of mine, he had a overdue garbage bill. He got a late notice, and it was like $500 or $600. But his next bill comes up, it doesn't mention that late bill ever
We
again.
directed them that they were supposed to put that on every
Right.
bill. If there was anything overdue or tax due, anything
It would
due.
disappear the next bill. Then all of a sudden, it'd be 6 months later, maybe a year behind instead of 6 months.
They don't want you to know about it.
I know they don't. They come at you 7 years later and you owe them $5,000, whatever it is.
Can I bring up one point? One of the other reasons that you want the solicitor to review the contract would be to get the answer to your questions once you potentially leave them. Is there any, do they have a course of redress on the other owed back taxes? Because that will be the next thing that happens.
Yep,
Okay?
you're
So,
right.
you know,
Yeah, it's not easy to just cut them off, right?
no,
Right.
it is not. It's just,
We can cut them off though.
Right, but they still
Council,
have,
council can cut them off and say, this is it.
right, but they
You're
have,
not- You cannot collect any more money.
Right.
Period.
in 27, yes, you can. You
Right.
make another one, and then you need to find out the liability, you know, it's like an accounts receivable for a company that's been sold. Can they still, you know, understand what they still can do, so when the residents come here with their complaints, is you'll know the answer.
Yep.
Waterfront Association fee.
Yeah.
Tim, do you know if Homestead pays anything?
And not only Homestead does, who owns the clock tower down there?
West Homestead?
No. The, COG, they own the clock tower down there, which is in the waterfront. And what's behind the clock tower
It's a
is
cell tower.
cell towers
Yes, it is.
that our mayor gave away and put them down there. They were supposed to be put back here, behind the building back here. And they got put in there. So they have property in the waterfront too. So we need to find out if they're paying anything on that.
I'm not forgiving anything,
I am too. I agree.
nothing.
I agree with you.
Okay.
They kind of had a letter they sent to it was kind of like, I don't know, they threatened to sue us if we don't pay them.
Well, I agree.
Go for it then.
Yep.
TJ just texted me. He said if we need to talk to him, I could call him and we could talk to him now. He said he sent Dave Todd the email recommendation
I checked my email just now, I never got
on
it.
August 8th. That's what he
Yeah, I
said.
understand, I just didn't get it, I checked now, I got one in May from them, but the date on it was page 8. So I can print that
Tell them
out.
not to call right now. Don't call them right now. Wait till tomorrow and call them.
What did he say?
We'll have the recommendation for next month.
Landfill options.
All right, so as I mentioned a couple months ago, Kelly Run is filling up. I don't know when it's gonna fill up, but it will fill up sometime this year. And I mentioned a few months ago that Waste Management was suggesting South Park landfill for our collection, for our trash collection. And they're gonna give us the same rate, which is about $57 a ton. Unfortunately, I'm still waiting on a contract from them, so.
Where's that total?
No,
South Park.
Waste
Oh,
Management.
South Park.
Waste Management.
One down
And I spoke to somebody yesterday from, what's the name of the company? They handle one in Westmoreland.
Is the one out in Ross Draven? We used to
It's
go about,
about 45 minutes from here.
that's
there.
it.
We can do that.
And he gave me a contract for $45 a ton.
When we went to Ross Draven, the trucks got lost all the time, I'll tell you that.
And they did DOT.
I used to work out there and they were always lost out there. Not gonna-
They like the hot cross place.
They do have good hot dogs.
So, probably with something, I don't know if there's any opinions on either space. I'll get a contract hopefully next week or so from Waste Management.
Can you reach out to them again? and
Yeah, I'll reach out to
see if
them.
we get the contract?
Yeah.
I'd rather go to Southport than send these guys.
South Park's a little closer.
About 35 minutes, about 10 minutes closer.
And you're not on the highway.
But the problem is the DEP and the DOT are crushing the trucks going to this landfill.
Oh, really? Okay.
This, the one in,
Ross River.
Ross River.
Yeah, we don't go out there.
But I'll tell you, the DOT, they're hitting West Mifflin and all throughout that way as well. They are. But they may be more at the other place. I don't know.
It's way out.
It's right on 70.
Right off of 22.
Yeah, one of Ross Street, where it's at.
70.
Ross Street is that way.
All right, I'm Robinson.
Menneson up on the hill.
I was thinking Robinson.
We used to be pictures. Right, Ross Street.
That's a long haul.
It's this one right here.
We never do that. They were out there for days.
Yeah, just off the side.
Yeah, it's right there next to the.
Getting their sleep on.
Okay, so hopefully I'll have a contract for next week for both, and then we can. So,
Community room shades.
yes.
I can't believe we're still talking about the community room shades.
Well, you know, we did the police, a few months ago, and I got a quote from.
You know, these things should be taken care of in-house. Just
I wanted to keep council updated.
the shades.
They're shades, they cost about, $1,000, just take care of it. I just wanna get council's input if they have any opinions, or I'll just take care of it.
No, take care of it.
All right. That's all.
Any old business?
I have a couple things I'd like to talk
Okay,
about.
Mr. John, how do you?
So, my cousin sitting back there spoke a couple meetings ago about Grace Street and how cars are traveling up and down Grace Street at a high rate of speed. And one of the residents was talking about that earlier on West Run Road, I think it was. And part of the problem is in his area on Grace Street down in that area is there are young kids down there and they are on little portable scooters and bikes and whatnot. And if one of them kids gets hit by a car down there, God forbid, we're gonna feel sick to our stomachs. So I have several questions. Are kids allowed to ride little electric scooters and bicycles on the street, first thing?
If they do, they have to go by the rules of the road. They have to stop at the stop sign, stop at the red lights.
And they don't.
And they don't.
And they don't. I've seen it personally.
And they have to wear a helmet as well, I guess, for the kids? The kids don't?
No.
Children don't? Okay.
Not on speed.
So that brings me to another subject of speed humps and portable speed humps, like the projects uses. Why don't we install some of them through the borough during the summertime, when these kids are out of school, and we put them in certain areas where we know there are problems where kids are at, and they can slow them down, we can put a sign there, or whatever other little thing we have to do, but they work, and they will slow traffic down in, per se, just Grace Street, or wherever else we want to implement them. What, are we allowed to do that? Ask our solicitor. I know, I think we should do it anyway.
Traffic study,
I was just gonna say that.
traffic study where we do that.
For a portable one?
Yep. And the ones in the project should not even be in the project because there was no traffic study done.
They're in there and there are roads.
And correct.
Some in Homestead too, did they do it?
They did traffic, for the one on West 15th Avenue, they did a traffic study? They did a traffic study.
Well, let's do a traffic study then, guys. Let's do it, because our kids getting
Where
run
are you gonna do
over.
it, where are you gonna do traffic study at?
Well, let's do wherever we want.
Right.
Let's start at Grace Street and let's start wherever else. I mean, there's plenty of places where we can do it.
But county, so we can't do
Jamie,
West Run Road.
wasn't, with the equipment we have now, basically collecting the data and giving it
Yeah,
from that,
it is.
it's basically doing almost an in-house traffic study.
There you go.
Yes.
Which should be sufficient.
And
a lot cheaper.
our engineer said that he watched how they did it for the ones down on Ravine Street, and he thinks he can go through that information and decide if we should put them up or not.
I don't even care about putting an asphalt one in.
Oh, I'm not talking about any of them, but he don't have to go to a company anymore, because he learned how to do it. when
You
we
mean a
went up.
study?
He can do the study himself.
And we can do it. So
Yeah.
it won't cost us an arm and a leg. I think we should do that. I think,
So let me just
go ahead.
circle back. So Grace Street, I just want to get a list going so we have a list.
Okay.
Grace Street, just like do one at a time, I'd say. What?
Roberta Drive.
They've had, people have complained before about Roberta.
Yeah, do Roberta Drive.
Okay, any other?
We already have a sign on Roberta. We did both sides already. I had the chief working on it because he had a sign up there.
Still wanna do a traffic study.
Well, no,
We have the data, we
our-
just gotta get the data.
we have the data.
Oh, okay.
I had the chief on one side, we shut the light off, and it collects data. Then we switched it over to the other side, we let it on for a few, and then we shut it off, and it collects data. That's how we did it on Ravine Street, was able to decide if we were able to put speed humps down there. And we did it, I had the chief put it on Cambria, because I believe Cambria by the park, by the ball fields are really bad.
Top, yes.
And the top, and, right, so we did that, so we got data for that, and we can move the sign somewhere else.
Let's
Main Street?
recoup all that data and start using it and see what we wanna do, because the portable, temporary, speed humps, we'll call them, I don't know if the proper name is for them,
Close enough.
they're not that much money.
You
You
bolt
know,
it
they're,
down.
they're under $200.
You bolt them.
Right, you bolt them down, or you nail them down, or whatever, however they're done. And, they can be taken up in the wintertime, and just use them during the summer when the kids are out, and I think it's a good idea. I don't know what council thinks,
I
but
know
that's
the
what I
one,
think.
one at the co-op, the one they had bolted down, they got so hot back in June during the big hot spell, they melted, when the cars hit it, they just broke off. So that's something we have to consider.
Any other roads? Or just some of those two? Okay.
Okay,
Anyway,
I have a couple other things I'd like to bring up. I think the door coming into the borough building here needs to be addressed immediately. It's a joke. We can't get in, we have to leave it ajar. I think that the security system for the borough offices needs to be addressed and done. We've been looking at that and talking about that for several months. We need to have a secure area for our office people to work at, and we don't. Anyone can get in there. We're only fooling ourselves, and in today's time and day, we have no idea what's gonna happen. So let's prepare and get it done. That is not a big high-cost project. Also, I think that we need to have signs, which would be very nice, we're talking about signs, welcome to Munhall, down on 8th Avenue, in certain areas. Pick where you want to put them at, but we have not one sign that welcomes anyone, hey, you're in Munhall, welcome to Munhall. I think that would be nice, up on Main
there used to
Street,
be one in Main and Interborough.
Yes.
years ago.
Yeah, because everybody thinks that this lower half's Homestead.
Oh, yeah.
So I think we should do that. I mean, we could put them, get 5 or 6 of them, put them throughout the borough. Also, I think that we need to work on the park down by the library. We need to get some work done on that, what do you call it?
Gazebo.
The gazebo. We've talked about it, we've done nothing about it. It needs to be addressed. Public Works could go down there, summertime crews could be down there painting. Throw some paint on it.
It needs a lot more than that. You do down there?
Start. I've been down
It needs
there,
more
I've
than
looked at the whole thing.
It needs like,
Anything is better than doing nothing.
well, it needs redone.
Well, let's do it then.
It needs redone.
Okay, that's all I got.
Sands in paint for this year?
Yeah, throw some paint on it. It'll last, raw wood sucks paint up. It loves it.
Anything else? Just a short story talking about kids on bikes. I was coming down here today at 5:15, kind of terrible headache. There's a kid coming up Main Street doing a wheelie right in front of me. Straight up Main Street, and I started to laugh. I thought to myself, at least he's not sitting in the air conditioner playing a video game.
Right.
You know? I mean, yeah. He pulled off to the side, got right up no Main Street doing a wheelie. I probably had done that, 30, 40, 50 years ago.
Well, on that subject,
Go ahead.
Kit Reese used to do a wheelie all the way up Main Street
Really?
on a motorcycle.
Oh, yeah. That's a real challenge on a motorcycle.
Oh, yeah.
Additional items. I think we've gone through them all. I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
No, Brad. You had your time.
No.
Oh, no. You had your time.
This is unacceptable for how this council runs.
What?
A lot was said tonight about the planning commission. A lot of negative things have been said about the planning commission. Oh, they haven't reported to us.
You've addressed council 4
years.
times tonight, just so you know.
Yeah, and it still's not addressed.
What's not addressed now?
Here, you want me to read the email?
Yeah, go ahead, read them.
All right, here. August 8th, Friday.
We're not denying these things. We're telling, wait a
8:43
second.
a.m.
I'm running the meeting.
Hi, David.
Oh.
We held our meeting
You're
this
out of
past
order,
Tuesday, and
Sir,
wow.
you're out of order. You want to remove him? Go. You're being disrespectful, out. Gone. You've addressed council 4 times tonight.
Just know.
Out.
Council reported, the
Out.
planning commission reported
Out.
to you.
Out. 4 times, you did the 5th time. That's enough. Anybody else? Motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
Second.